Hello, hello.
Hey,
Usually I do an introductions, but I'm kind of late, so I kind of decided just to pop on.
going straight in.
Yeah, dive head first. Okay, so who's here? Hello, Lynn. I haven't talked to you in so long. How are you? I saw your little what's your name again? Lily. She was helping you doing your Christmas decoration or your Christmas tree. Either or. Who's here? I have 5 people here.
Well, I'm two of them.
Do I count? I never know. Do I count as one?
Maybe if you have yourself open on another screen, probably.
No, I don't. I never think of doing that.
No, then you don't count as one.
Okay, so there's 5 people. Busy, busy, busy. So it was Thanksgiving for USA friends. And you happy Thanksgiving to our American friends. I know I think it starts on Thursday.
Yeah, I think.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, eating like crazy. Good food.
All I know is here in Canada, it's on Monday, and it's usually it's on a Monday, right? It's usually around my birthday, so that's all
I
I know.
don't know. I don't know. Wait, all I know is we have a long weekend, but I never pay attention to the actual date.
Hmm.
You're absolutely right. Monday is Thanksgiving. For us, it was Monday, 9th of
Hi,
October.
Darren.
Hello, Darren. It's been such a long time. How are you? I'm just coming out of this nasty cold. There's something going on. Someone shared a virus in our household,
It's not.
and
It
it's
can be
not you.
done by chatting.
No, I can't. It started with Philip 2, 3 weeks ago. I was battling it. I lost my voice. And then I somewhat was doing better. Philip seemed to be doing better. But then Fred got down. He was like out for like, I think 3, 4 days. And then obviously, 2 out of 5 have it. I end up having it. Emilia end up having it. And then Cedric, little one, even though he's sick, that one, he just like goes on and on like the Energizer Bunny. Like there's nothing that can bring him down. No, there is one thing that can bring him down, gastro. But still, like he was going like crazy, and it hit us hard. This one, I'm still like here, it's all stuffed up. I'm so happy this time I didn't lose my voice. But oh no, you're sick too. Okay, so I guess we did share without knowing. We're all sick at the same time.
We'll have to be careful in the chat now.
Well, I didn't say anything. I said we're all sick. Well, anyways, it's the time of year. School, and then people are gathering. Colder temperatures, less exposure to the sun. We are more fragile. We are exhausted. The year just like creeps us on us in like depends of the people, August, September, November, and then when you're like, okay, I'm done, then boom, you get smacked in the face, boom, you're
Yep.
sick. So
Well, the energy level always goes down at this time of year, so that doesn't help either. Like our immunity system is usually a bit lower. Like you said, lack of sun. Summer is over. It's like a big adrenaline rush because you have so much going on. Kids play sports and you're getting ready for school, and then everything just happens at once. And it's like, okay, well, for me, it's like hunting season is here, harvesting season is here, and then boom, everything's done. Back to work, back to reality, and no more sun, no more time outside, and it's just
I
like,
don't know if it's just my mind playing a trick on me, but I feel when I go outside and like enjoy the sun and all, it's not the same. Like the sun is up and down like super fast during these months. So sun is up I think around 6:30 for me, and now is down like at 4:30.
they say that the morning sun is the best. That's when you get the more vitamin.
Okay, so I should go take my coffee outside in the
In
morning. Okay.
theory, but you would
In theory.
freeze your butt off.
No, we're converting my high tunnel into a rabbit house.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if I said this, but my tunnel had no top on it. And then Fred's like, why don't we just put a top on it, leave the front door open, leave the back window open, and just turn it into a rabbit place? I'm like, yeah, makes fun. Like, the rabbit will be comfortable because the front door and back door will be open, and the temperatures won't reach like peaking 40 degrees Celsius, because if I close the back and the front, that's what will happen. Like, it's almost like 20 degrees sometimes in there, like when it's super cold outside. So I am transforming my high tunnel in a poop place
In a
this
poop
winter.
factory.
It's going to be like a poop place. And Fred's like, maybe the front part of it, so the back end of it is the rabbit, and the front part of it, we should put a hammock. So if it's -10 outside during the day, it could be like maybe 0 in the tunnel.
Nice.
So if I cocoon and like put like a couple of layers, put a hat on, I can go enjoy coffee in the tunnel.
True.
We'll see. It's a theory. I'll have to test it. We'll see. I saw that you just harvested sirloin.
I think
Is
so,
it
yeah.
is it sirloin he harvested? How's your leg, by the way? You kind of like missed something and stabbed yourself. Is that what you said? Grace and I don't go anywhere, so the boys are to blame for bringing home germs. They are the culprit. Hello, Marilyn.
Hey, Marilyn.
Hello, Mr. Fox. Good evening. So, are you going around lives like you did last weekend and got lost? Or was it the weekend before that? Like, I feel like my mind is playing tricks on me. There's like, I don't, I remember stuff, but I vaguely remember when. I don't know if it's mom brain or the fact that I'm
Getting
starting.
older.
Yes, getting older. But I sleep more. Okay, so I'm sleeping better. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
I've been sleeping better. So instead of having disturbing sleep, like waking up, falling back asleep, waking up, falling back asleep, I have like maybe 6 hours of sleep, deep sleep. At first, when I was waking up, I felt even more tired than when I started, like the sleeping wise. And sometimes in the morning, I'm like, what day are we? Like, I get confused. So maybe it's old age. I don't know. My mom would say it's old age. But I refuse to say I'm old. Harvested sirloin, 262 pounds of boneless meat. Nice. Yep, was skinning the leg and the knife continued through his. Ouch. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to stop before you hurt yourself. Still on many multitasking lies. Only two going at the same moment, so not super deep. Okay. Well, I just recently changed my my time. I used to be at 6, and for a reason, it was like not a convenience for everyone. Like they wanted to pop in, but for certain people, it was dinner time. And some people, like I have young kids. Everyone that goes live at 6, I want to go, but I can't. Like it's at 6:30. I start the 6 o'clock. I start the clothes, the lunches, and blah 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 for the next day because it's school. And then by 7:30, my brain is so mush that sometimes I actually crash and fall asleep like at 8:30. So I miss all the adventures and all the lives and all of that.
Are the kids in bed now?
They're supposed to.
Okay, so you put them to bed and then you do your live stream. It's probably a bit easier for you if they stay in bed.
Yes. So the gamble was if I do it before, I generally should not be disturbed because Fred's up. But if I do it after and everything works, he's with Cedric right now. And it's my two eldest. Like right now, one of them is playing. They just dropped something on the floor on top of me. So I know one of them is not sleeping. But if they stay in their room, I don't mind because they will end up falling asleep.
Yeah.
It's just last week, Philip was not feeling well. And he was on top of the stairs right behind me. And then Emilia heard him. And then he created like this chaotic moment. So it was lovely. But technically, it's easier on me. And I don't have to, oh my God, I have to leave. It's 7:30. I have to put the kids to bed. It's Sunday, blah, blah, blah. So it's a little bit less stressful if everything works out for me.
Yeah.
But I can no longer stay up till 10.
Well, it comes with all the responsibilities and all the work that we do around the homestead. I
Yeah.
find because I get up early in the morning now, no matter what, even if I'm not working, and comes like 9, 10 p.m. I'm just gone. I'll go to bed and crash.
Actually, Marilyn will laugh at this. I posted a comment, I think a month ago, about struggling to finish a book. And I had adult responsibilities. So she turns on and she messages me and she says, "Well, you need to learn how to go to bed later and read." So there's nights when I'm like so close to finishing my book, I kind of read late and like I lose track of time. And there's a night that I was like super close to finishing the book, and I look at the time before going to bed. I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm gonna pay the price tomorrow. Thank God the kids are not too bad with me, but sometimes I do go to bed late. I rather have the 6 time frame, but the time zones thingy is a huge yes. You're different time zones than us. You're down south, right? Um, However, I fully understand the energy level required for life at times. Yeah. I'm going back to evening for my lives starting this week, at least for a little bit. So you're still keeping Wednesdays, right?
That's great for me. I'll be able to be there.
Okay, wait. She shifted during the day, Wednesday
Yeah,
morning.
she's
Yeah.
doing the morning, but I'm at work.
Yeah. Comes with turning 40. Thanks for rubbing it in. You know how to read. Come on. To pass that pew pew exam, you need to learn how to read. So unless there's like courses online, I wasn't aware. Yeah, like one. Yes, I am. So you remember I told you I started the second book? Wait, where is it? So I finished the first. I'm at the second. So this one's a bit longer. This one is, I think, 600 pages.
Oof.
No, yeah, it is. It is. Oof. Okay, so this one is 623 pages. and I'm almost halfway point, and I started about 10 days ago. The only thing I did today is read almost. I did dishes, I washed clothes, and then I between the loads and folding I read, and then between cooking dinner I read, and then doing lunch I read. I helped Fred outside for like an hour to work around the house, but I mostly read today. I did a lazy day. I don't do that often.
Hmm.
Current time for me at oh you're you're 6 o'clock. I'm near
He's
8.
2 hours behind you.
Yeah, 2 hours behind us.
Right
No,
behind.
so we're after dinner. Okay, cool. What's this 40 you speak of? I don't know. Should we know? Henry cannot understand.
I don't
What can
understand the fun in reading. I hate reading.
um I hated reading too. I despised reading. And I remember at school, um they would bring these books, and like I was dreading reading them. It was like not interesting at all. But then someone gave me a book that I read cover to cover almost in a week, and I realized that it was not my love language. So, like, I need something like to keep me reading. And in French, I know my mother tongue is French. I have a hard time falling in love with books in French. In English, the language of English is like so easy for me to read.
I
And
find it
once I,
simpler.
yeah, I don't know. I tried reading French. I'm gonna go. My daughter wants me to read the same book as she does, so I'm gonna give it a try. But I have a hard time like getting into it. Don't know.
I remember back in school when I had to read a book, I would just go like read the first page, read one of the page in the middle randomly somewhere, and read the last page, and then try to make a story with it, and boom.
It
Because
used to.
they were always asking the same kind of questions. Why did you like the book? Or did you like the book? Yes or no? And then why? So you just had to find like one joke in the book somewhere, something that was somewhat funny, and you could say that you liked the book because it was funny, and then give an example. And you
Oh,
had the points right there.
oh, we had specific questions.
Oh, we'll take a
So
guess.
yeah, and some of them had like choices, and some of them didn't, and some you had to like you had to answer, but like not just like one word. You had to answer with like explanations. So you had to read the book, and that's probably why I sucked in French. That was 21 years ago.
I just prefer reading informative stuff. I'll read like a I don't know one of those books here that I have like on wild edible plants and stuff like that. You know, this is the kind of book I'll go through.
Well, that's what I mean. You have to find your love language. Like right now, I finished one course. I did a boatload of reading, and it was hard at first because there's a lot of technical words. And one of my courses that I'm following is in French, and I struggle more with that course than my English course. So,
Well, to give you an idea of how much I like to read, even though this is probably one of my favorite books ever, it has 220 pages. I've had it for over 2 years now, and I'm at page 90.
it's okay. I love reading as a kid. However, it took me 3 tries to get through Moby Dick. Hmm. Well, a translate book can be weird sometimes, but a French book by a friend. Yes, true, true. I haven't found like an author that gives me that attraction feeling to the book. But since I just started reading, like it's been almost a year now. I started reading on December 25th last year. I got a tablet last year for Christmas. Wait, where is it? So I got, what do you call these? Kindle. And I gave myself an objective to read one book a month. And I surpassed that. So at least one of my, how do you say that in English? You know, when
Goals.
goals of the year was to read 12 books, and I did that. I love reading. I'm like you, Annie. I will stay. I keep reading. It's just one more chapter. Yeah, one more. Yeah, but then young kids the next day, like pound on your skull. Yeah. Oh,
Good choice.
come on. I'm
Good
good.
choice.
Good. I'm not a man, so I can't say that. But I do have to agree. My dad was, he received a couple of National Geographics.
I
The
thought you
pictures
were
in there, the pictures in there were beautiful. Catalog, the Sears catalog. Yes, I remember those. Yeah. They don't no longer exist. Well, Sears no longer exists. Well, here at least. I don't know if they exist anywhere else. You don't have Sears in New Brunswick. You have?
there was some until like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, they closed down. So there now I think there's only La Baie du Son, the Bay.
Yeah, there might be. I don't even know if they're still operating in the States. Sears. I know they went bankrupt in Canada. I don't know about the States.
I don't know. I don't know. Like big chains are they used to be a thing. So I remember when I was young, there was Sears. There was Bylin. I don't know
Violent.
your mess. I have
Yeah,
to
good
run.
evening, Fox.
Have fun. Enjoy. Have a great week. There was Sears. There was Simon's. There was the Bay. Eaton Center. Eaton. There was a lot. And now there's just like Walmart,
There's no
Simon's,
Zellers anymore.
Zellers. They almost came back. We tried Target here in Canada. It was an ultimate fail. I remember leaving for mat leave for Philip. I was head over heels into organizing the installs of, well, like prior to the opening of the store. And like I had so much on my plate to get the loading docks installed. And I came back from my mat leave 52 weeks later. Most of the installation that I coordinated, all the store closed. So I
Oh,
worked my ass off to get all these stores, loading docks, doors, and all of that, like the shipping where you receive goods. I coordinated all those installs, and then I did all of that before my mat leave, and I got all the letters when I came back. Like the stores were mostly all closed. I was like, fudge. I worked my ass off to get these docks installed, and no more. It just didn't work here. I find it weird that Target is like super, super intense in the States, and here it just didn't pick up. Yeah, Sears is dead. I just didn't know if it was Canada worldwide. I remember Eaton. Yes, there was a Centre Eaton in downtown Montreal. I used to go there when I was in CJEP. My CJEP was close to there. Yes, Stellars. I used to live near a Sellers. There's another one before that. Before Cellar, what was it called? Rossi? Is that it?
that
Rossi?
still exists. Ross
I'm
is
sorry?
still. It still
Rossi
exists.
still exists?
Yeah, we have
Oh,
one here in Campbellton.
okay. Radio Shack? That's also like an old one.
That changed to the source here at
Yes.
least,
Yes.
and then
Okay.
they shut down here as well. But I don't think they're completely gone.
La Source, there is one in Gaspésie. I remember seeing one when I was in on my travels.
I think there was one in Moncton last time we went. I remember Bargain Shop.
Don't have that here.
That's a long time ago. I remember Kmart.
Kmart. Kmart. Kmart. I know the name.
That
I
changed for Zellers here, and then
I don't think I don't think I've been to a Kmart. It tells us our age when we talk about these things. Hello,
remember.
Jane.
I don't remember Simpsons.
Simpsons. Isn't it Simon's? Because Simon's still exists, I think, in Laval. Wait, what is Simpsons? Now I'm curious. Géant des Aubaines. I don't know that one. I don't know. What's it called? Simpsons. Okay, so hold on. What is Simpsons? It was like a store.
Department store was a Canadian department store that had its earliest roots in a store opened in 1858.
I don't remember that. Department store. Bye, Darren. Ooh! Hot tub. Have fun.
Hey, get that hot tub ready for May next year.
Well, he's going to warm it up for a couple of months for you. I'm trying to remember another one. Well, Costco used to be Club Price here. Then it became Costco. Super Carnaval was one of our grocery store, which became Super C. We're going down memory lane.
It's funny when you talk to the kids about the stuff we had to do, or the things we had when we were young. I remember my parents telling me stuff, and I'm like, okay, you guys are way too old. And now I'm telling stuff to my kids, and when I tell them that I had to roll the numbers on the phone,
Yes, they don't believe us.
like, how? What? Like, you had to get up and walk to the TV to change the channel.
No, there was worse than that. There was no cordless phones. We had to sit for hours next to the phone if you wanted to have a conversation. Simpson merged with Sears. Okay, so I wasn't around, or I don't remember.
We were around, from what I just read, it was like in 1988 or something like that, but we were
I was 5 years old. I don't like I was still super young.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. There was like another struggle, when we had those boom boxes and we had the cassettes.
Yeah.
And the boom boxes, we eat the cassettes and you like slowly take out and
take
then
a
take
pen.
a pencil and then have to like turn it. Yeah. We had also to do that with VHS when the VHS would eat our tapes.
We listened to a radio station and wait until our song came on to
and
click
record.
Yeah, and then listen to it over and over again.
We weren't able to buy CDs at the time.
No. And even CDs, that's past our time. They don't even know what a CD is.
Yeah, and I used to listen to C'est Quoi, which is a radio station, Le 6 à 6. So it was top 6 songs at 6 o'clock on C'est Quoi every single day. And every single day at 6, like 10 minutes before 6, I use like like I was like recording. And then we were able to record our first discs to put in our cars. We had like playlists every weekend. We would exchange CDs in our cars. Today's is just on this.
One of the best treats my parent could do for me was if there was a good movie on TV and they would record it, but skipping the commercials. That was like the best gift they could do to me back in the days.
Yeah, because then you would forward it, and then I'm too far, and then back, and then forward, and back and forth.
So when they would skip the commercials, it would just press play, watch the movie, and
The struggle was real.
you have to rewind it. It always makes me laugh. Have you ever watched a TV show, Les Parents, Quebec sitcom?
I don't have cable.
It was a hearing a couple of years ago. I think it went through 6 or 7 seasons.
Yeah.
There was this one kid that he burned, or he gave a DVD to his grandfather, and he told the grandfather out to play the movie and all that stuff. And then he brings back the movie, and he's like, "It was a pretty good movie, but I'm very, very sorry." And the kid's like, "Why?" "Well, I didn't have time to rewind it." Made me laugh when I heard that, because obviously you don't rewind a CD, but
I used
DVD.
to work in a rental, like when you every Friday you would go rent a movie in I think my young 20s. And I remember like you had to open every VHS to make sure that the person rewind it. And there was a fee for people that didn't rewind their movie. Oh
Yeah,
my god!
$2 a movie, and you got the third one for free.
When I used to work, it was $3.99 a movie.
Oh wow, that was expensive.
The new ones, the new rentals, and then it went up to $4.99, $5.99 when I quit, and then it was 3 for $10 old movies, and DVDs were like just starting to be popular. So yeah, $4.99 to like right now on Netflix, you can rent movies for $4.99. When Blockbuster and all those DVD places that you can rent at the end, it was almost $7, $8 to rent a movie. It's completely ridiculous, but
Yeah, because you could still rent them on demand cable for less.
well now I just introduced my kids to Harry Potter. So they watched all of the movies of Harry Potter. They watched all Lord of the Rings. I
Oops.
don't think it yeah, I'm trying to introduce them to my passions. Fred's like, yeah, not his stuff, but like he still tags along. And we watched the three first movies also of Lord of the Rings. So like it's not in order, but like we watched the six movies, and now we're starting the Harry Potter the before. So there, I think there's like 7 or 8 movies, and then they did Fantastic Beast 1, Fantastic Beast 2, and then Secret of Dumbledore. When we rent it, it's $4.99, and it just passes on our Prime account. I've never rented from, what's it called? Netflix. I've only rented from Prime.
Yeah, we don't have Netflix anymore. It was getting too expensive.
Yeah, we are debating on, like, right now we have Prime because Fred gets some of his stuff delivered to the house for work. So he needs it for like within 24 hours. And he also needed the picture space and all the other services that came with it. I also have access to free books on my tablet with it. So we also have Netflix and Disney Channel. So
I have,
Netflix, we were debating on keeping Disney, but like the kids kind of enjoy Disney. So I'm gonna put this in the universe somewhere. Someone has to understand that having all these things is a hassle. Someone should actually go ding 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 in their brain and say, okay, I'm gonna offer you every single streaming applications for a certain amount per month. Let's just say I don't know how many there is. I know there's Netflix, there's Prime, there is Disney, there's UK television, there is HBO, there's
Crave.
Crave, there's blah 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 blah, blah, all of them. They should all be under one roof and we should have access to it like monthly instead of having like 3 4 things here and there. But it seems my idea ludicrous, but it would make so much sense. Like, okay, so the first level you have access to, I don't know, 10 platforms. The second level you have access to all the platforms and you decide which platform you want and you have access to those platforms for the month, and if you want to change it, you go on your website and you change it.
The worst thing is, I think with the way technology is going right now, cable's gonna eventually die
Die.
off.
Yeah.
And what the only reason I have cable, let's face it, it's to watch the hockey games and all the sports.
I
Because every
don't,
single
so
movie, every single TV show, you can watch them either on Netflix, online somewhere after. Like it's always free somewhere. Um, if I had a way to watch all the hockey games online, I would. So the first company, whether it's Disney Plus, Netflix, Crave, name it, that goes online with a platform to watch hockey games, or whoever decides to have like a contract with the NHL, with the MLB, with the NBA, with all those big sports league, they will literally kill the cable and they will take over.
I don't
That's the
understand
idea.
why they resist this because everything's accessible on our phones. There's apps, there's this, there's that. But anyways,
Yep.
I'm just sending this in the universe. It would be like super easy on us. Like you just choose multi levels, and it will come. Let's just say that right now I have 3 platforms, and I pay a certain amount per month. Let's just say that I pay the same amount per month, and I have access to 5 platforms. I would take it because like I would go one place
And
and
have it.
then
Yeah.
and have everything I want. Oh, I'm not catching up on comments. I think it was Mark and Spencer. I used to love going to with my grandmother, as we always get some Scottish. Ooh, he's talking about a store. I don't know this store. Sounds delicious. Wait a minute. Are you Scottish? Is he Scottish?
I don't know.
Hmm. Well, he does like. It's not rum. What's the other thing he told me? It's not bourbon. What's the other one? It's not Scotch.
Rum.
No, 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 no.
He drinks rum.
No, it's not. Where's the rum? No. He used to. It's not Scotch. It's the other one. Come on, Annie. It's gonna come back to me.
Mine. Psst, psst, psst.
My brain's going. Okay, so there's bourbon. There's Scotch. What's Jack Daniels?
Whiskey.
Whiskey. He loves whiskey. I think. I think my memory's correct. Ireland people loves to drink a lot. I had a song of cartoons I was watching as a kid this week. It was weird. There is one I used to listen. C'est le temps du petit castor. Do you guys remember that?
Yep. I have them here somewhere on DVD.
I used to watch that. There was Gem and the Holograms. My sisters used to watch that. It does feel weird because I see sometimes commercials of Gems and the Hologram. I'm like, oh my god, it was like so poorly made, but I watched it like regardless. Yes, I'm sincere as my grandparents were always calling it that way. Is someone leaving? Did I miss that?
We have some people coming in.
Hello, hello, hello. Hold on, I'll catch up on my messages. Marks and Spencer is still in the UK. I remember it for underwear, not treats. I have all the Disney Kids movies on I do too. I have all the VHS original copies. We had 8 people.
VHS from Disney are probably worth a lot of money.
Yeah, but they've been in my basement for like a year, so I doubt they still function.
You'd be surprised.
I hope they're still in the box intact. We had a People too, mostly close. I don't remember what People was.
I remember having one here, but I don't remember what it was either.
I don't have cable. Like I don't have my provider here is Videotron, and I only have internet with them and our cell phones. And we went back and forth of the type of internet we needed because we told them we wanted to stream exclusively. And we chose a bundle to let us have Netflix. And at first we only had Prime and Netflix, and then C happened, and I had to entertain 3 kids, so we added on Disney. But since then, they like went up almost $2 every year. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Coffee Walks. I love coffee. Love coffee, love coffee. Love the lawn. Wait, is it that lady that won my sticker?
Yep.
Did you receive my sticker? I hope so.
I still have to send mine. It's not there yet.
You were hunting when I sent it, so I hope you did receive it. Everyone's saying hello. By the way, your microphone's still on.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. So just let me know, confirm that you have received it, please, since I have you here. I was going over my pile. You know, I accumulate piles of stuff I have to do. And I still found the sticker your son won. I haven't sent it to you. Yeah. I found like my to-do list of like a month ago, and like I've scratched off like many things, and I still forgot.
I've been struggling to find some stuff. Like I don't know. I found this little piece here that goes on my phone for a microphone when I film. I just can't find the microphone.
That's a problem.
That's kind of worthless now.
No, keep it, because Fred does this.
Oh, yeah, I will keep it, but
he goes around and he's looking for something, and then, you know, obviously the kids played with it because it's his and it's like his toys. So he puts it on his desk, and at one point he gets so angry because like he can't find the rest of it, he throws it away. And then for whatever reason, the universe decides to spit it out. and he finds the piece that he was looking for. But then it's useless because he threw out the other piece. So I told him, you should make a box of like stuff.
Yeah.
Like you put it in there, like things you can't find or you're missing pieces, you put it there. And then, you know, occasionally when you find the sister or the daddy or whatever, or the other pieces, you just go in that box. But then that box gets quite filled quite fast, especially when Cedric was a baby.
Yeah, it could be anywhere on the ground here.
Yeah. Like Cedric is doing so much better with that. He no longer goes in everything. But there's still things missing. Oh. I thought I missed a message from my husband. No, it's not. Must be sleeping. So, okay. So what's the lady's name again? Just in case she didn't hear my question, I'm going to ask her again.
Marty.
Marty? So, did you receive the sticker? Third time is a charm. So let's see if you hear this time. I sent you a sticker about, when did you go hunting? 2 weeks ago?
Last week. I arrived last Saturday.
No, it was like Monday or Tuesday that I sent it.
It could have been, well, almost 2 weeks ago now, I guess, but no.
Okay, so she probably would have received it this week.
Yes, she did.
Woohoo! Awesome. I hope you enjoy it. So her first name is Marty, Mardi.
Yep.
Okay. It's like our Tuesday.
Yep.
It's gonna be
French.
hard. It's gonna be hard to forget now. I'm gonna think about it. I have to give myself tricks not to forget you guys' names because I'm horrible with names. I'm good with faces, but as I get older, I find that I have a hard time with names. So, what did you bring back hunting?
You want to know everything I brought back?
Well,
I
you
found,
did say you your
I
your
foraged.
dad shot something.
Yeah. I ended up with 51 pound of meat from that doe that we got. Plus, my cousin, they got nuisance tags. He's running an apple orchard down south, and the government is allowing doe tags whenever there's too many deers. So he's got a few doe tags that he can give to whoever he wants, but they have to hunt on his property. So he always ends up having a bunch of deer, and he had too much meat for what he could handle. So he gave me, with all the paperwork and stuff, about half a deer. So I ended up with about 120 pounds of meat.
That's nice. Did he do the hunting?
Sorry, what?
Did he? You're coughing. Did he hunt or you went hunting?
No, he was hunting on his property. I was hunting with my dad and my brother, and Anthony came with us this year.
Oh, but you did forage.
Yeah, I was able to find something I was looking for a long time. Labrador tea. I didn't. Well, I've never seen it before. I went down to Fredericton, so I knew what it was, but one like until you put your hands in it and you actually see it with your own eyes, it's hard to know. Like, am I going to be able to find it? Am I going to be able to know what it is? But Labrador tea is kind of very easy to identify. So as soon as I got there, I'm like, okay, this is Labrador tea, and it's all over the place. So I took a picture, like from the whole plant and the leaves and everything, and I sent it to my mentor, my teacher, if you want, and she confirmed, like, yeah, you have Labrador tea. She told me what to be careful for. I guess it's leather leaves. It's almost the same, but instead of having like this Labrador tea will have a shape where the leaves kind of go like this underneath a little bit, and leather leaves will stay straight. And Labrador tea has some sort of hairy, it's kind of hairy underneath.
Like
So you can't
mossy?
really go wrong. What?
Like mossy?
Not, well, um, like mullein is kind of hairy on top.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of almost the same underneath
Okay.
of Labrador tea. Anyone that does a research online can probably find what it is, but I would always suggest you get like a second opinion before you actually eat or drink anything. But I was able to find Labrador tea. I was able to find turkey tail mushrooms, which is something that I knew what it was, but until you find it, you can never be sure. And I thought for one that that mushroom had to be growing on a living tree, and I was told that that specific mushroom is actually a wood decomposer, so it will most often than not be on a dead stump or a dead tree. So this is something I learned as well.
So you
um,
went hunting and you also got an education.
oh yeah,
Well, not education, but you did learn something.
yes. And the thing is, my teacher or coach or mentor, um, it costs me $800 for a year, and I can make payments the way like I have an arrangement with her. I'm paying a certain amount of money monthly, and that allows me to have like um, not I'm not gonna say 24/7 because obviously she goes to bed and she has other things to do. But I
Gives
can
you
always
access. It gives you access to her.
it's easy access. I mean,
Yeah.
like any other friends, like I can send her pictures and my opinions on things, and she'll confirm and she'll ask me for specific uh, things to look for and things like that. And it's fun and it's good, and I love that because I was also able to find, like I said, the turkey tails, Labrador tea, um, what's it called, creeping snowberries. Um, they don't have the berries right now, but they're still very good for tea. I had them all here until this afternoon. I brought them upstairs, but I was also able to find sweet fern. Um, I was able to find that last year. It was a new plant for me. I showed Jessica the pictures, and she's like, "Okay, this is sweet fern. You can do this and that, and it's one of my favorite plant." Blah blah blah. And this year I was going at the same place with strong intention on harvesting a lot of sweet ferns. We were there the first hunting week last year, which was at the end of October. And this year we were there the last hunting week, which was mid November. So all the plants were starting to turn brown a little bit. I was able to find a few plants and harvest a lot. So I came back home with sweet fern, Labrador tea, uh, creeping snowberries, and turkey tails,
The,
and
qu-
deer meat.
the question is, how many plants did you bring back home?
Four different kinds, and I had about, let's say, like a sandwich Ziploc bag full of each and every one of the plants.
You were like a kid in like a playground having so much
Well,
fun.
it's free food, right?
No, I
So,
understand. It just I had a funny feeling you brought back plants like so that you can put them in your
pantry.
on your in your pantry, but also if you bring back plants, now you have the plant nearer to your house and you can propagate it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I was able to harvest a few seeds from what I could see, but Labrador tea is pretty hard to find. Like the seeds are more coming out in the spring, I think. Um, the sweet fern, I might be able to get some. Turkey tails, they already grow around here somewhere. So I just had to go like in an old cutting somewhere and probably find them on those dead stumps, dead trees. The creeping snowberries, I already had a few from the summer.
The
Um,
course that you're following with your mentor is fun because she knows herbs, but she also knows mushrooms.
yeah,
So you gotta get two for one.
yeah, and she's teaching me a lot of medicine as well, but like the medicinal aspect of the plants. And each and every one of us that do gardening, um, we already have a bunch of medicinal plants in our garden, and we just don't know about it. One of the best medicinal plant, from what I learned in the past 2 weeks, is the cayenne pepper.
Yeah.
That's one of the strongest
There's
medicinal
so many
plants.
minutes. Yeah, I have every year, even though we don't eat, I have at least one plant that provides me about 12 to 20 little peppers, and I dehydrate them and I keep them. Like I use them in spaghetti sauce,
Okay,
but like I keep them for their medicinal purposes
birch
because they're
tree seeds.
birch tree seeds.
Yeah. Um,
Silipticone.
yeah, I'm just trying to like it probably would not be allowed to cross the borders. That's what I was thinking. But we have a lot of those here. I have birch trees growing on my property.
I used to have birch tree at my parents'. I remember it was my first video differentiating the two. Don't go watch it. Now that you say that, people might go. Rose hip, since I have that. You remember, Marilyn, you told me to harvest my rose hips after my first hard frost. So we had at least a couple of hard frost. They're all black. They're all shriveled up and disgusting looking.
You waited too long.
Well, they were like that before my first hard frost. So I kind of have, I might have to go because you got, she's zone 3, you're zone 4, I'm zone 5. So I think I'm going to have to go with when they're in like they're that reddish orange pink color before they dry out. Like I would love to have rose hips. Dehydrated at least. Rose hips are good in teas, I believe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like you had,
I'm actually studying one soaps, and they talk about a lot of rose. There's a lot of different parts of the rose that are used for different things. I don't remember them all, but definitely petals. I see them often in teas. I
hmm
don't remember seeing them in rose hips. Oh no, I forgot to go spread my fireweed seeds.
Oh, you have some. It's true. You bought some.
I did. I was supposed to go.
I think I ordered some.
Yes, you did.
I didn't get them yet.
There's like this pod on birch trees. It's like a conic thing that when you hold it in your hand, like it becomes like powder. I think that's the seed for the birch. So my house had two. They died. The house I used to live in when I was a child also had two. There's like this insect that bores inside the tree and just kills it. The first month we were here in our new house, there was a like windstorm and like the tree like leaned. And then when we cut it, it was almost hollow in the middle.
Yeah, yes. Hmm.
I thought it was like that conic thing. Hold on.
Birch tree seed. Let me see. That's not a birch tree seed.
I thought it was like that little conic thing that like disintegrate in like this powder. Or am I confusing birch with another tree? What did what did she describe as it? Oh, she's right. She's right. She's right. So it's that little conic thing, but then this is what it looks like. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Yellow birch tree seed. So I have to remove my background. Hold on. You guys have to see my unfinished house. Okay, so here. Kind of looks like that.
It is hard to see.
Yeah, it is, but like I'm trying to place my phone without the glare in like. Oh wait, does that work?
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of them, right?
Yeah, so that's what she's describing. It's a cone with 100 of seeds. So I was right, somewhat right.
Birch
Uh,
tree seeds.
Sounds like that bug is similar to what we have here, known as the ash borer beetle. I don't remember the name, But all I know is that in front of my parents' house, there was like these two beautiful birch trees, and when they were in flower, it was beautiful. And then one year, he just had to cut one down, and then the year after that, he had to cut them down. I can't remember what bug it was.
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember. Like we tried every single natural repellent for the tree, and every year it was just dying even more. So my dad just cut it down. It was like so sad. It's like there's another tree now that keeps dying here because of another type of beetle, l'orme blanc. What's the name of it in English?
Let me check.
Um, we have one on our property.
Elm.
Elm. I think it's that. We had to a couple of weekends ago. We had to bring it down because it was literally. He's been dead for like 2 years. Yeah, it was a couple of years. We tried every single trick. Like there's a guy that came and like he tried like a white powder, I think. We trimmed the tree to give it like a second chance in like everything we were doing. There was nothing. Obviously, my dad did not want to use pesticides because it was like a playing ground. We had so many kids around the house. So we tried and tried. But now, like, he wanted to replant two birch trees to replace. It was like ridiculously so expensive. He was like, I'm going to plant trees and they're just going to kill those. So he just planted some bush lilacs instead. Changes the whole front view of the house, but if you cut down a paper birch, don't remove the stump. No, it didn't. For us, it didn't. So we left the two stumps of our birch trees. They never came back. But we did cut them like super low to the ground. We didn't leave anything. Maybe that's that. It's been 5 years now. One is in my tunnel. So I planted one of the stumps is like in the middle of one of my garden beds in my tunnel in soil. So if he wanted to come back, he had manure and all the good conditions to rise back up. The second one is like raised to the ground, like in every year it just seems to rot, not coming back. It would have been fun for them to come back. They are beautiful. That is true. They're kind of like a smaller version of a willow tree. Like it kind of like when
Yeah.
they are in bloom, like
And
when they all fall down with the bloom, they're kind of like a mini willow. Oh, could be.
yeah.
When we bought the house, we came to visit the house late summer, and we realized that some of the trees that were on the property were suffering from something. The apple tree was the first thing we noticed. It was like not dying, but like it needed desperate love. And we tried and tried and tried. And this weekend, sadly, we just cut it down because it's eating the tree. So now we waited that the side shoots of the tree are coming out. It was a Macintosh tree. And now we have baby apple trees growing from the ground. I hope it's a Macintosh because I know it's not one of the younger varieties. So maybe in 10 years we'll have an apple from that tree.
It could be faster than that. Well, I have some issues with my apple tree here as well, and I don't know what's wrong. I think Marilyn told me last year that it was some sort of fungus. But I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
have fungus on our trees.
Yeah, it's just that one apple tree that I have here. Um, Last year it was full of apples, but the apples were all like brownish, moldy kind of. This year I figured it was gonna be better. I had like thousands of flowers, and they all seemed like they were fertilized. And as the summer went on, they just kept falling and falling and falling, and I ended up with about three apples, and they were not even good.
So the apples that I picked this year, about an hour and a half from my house, every year I ask her how her orchard is doing, and she said that this year she lost 1/3 of her apples
Oh,
because the tree bloomed and they had a hard frost,
yeah, that could be what happened here as well.
like, or too close to zero, and then the flower can't survive, and it was not pollinated, and then she lost about 1/3 of her apples. And the ones that were formed, that were little, they were stunt and they rotted. She had
Yeah.
to wait for the second bloom, so she lost a lot. And every year she loses tree to everything that you can think of.
Well, when you say she lost a tree, you mean the tree died because of the frost?
No, 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 like old
Yeah.
age or fungus or diseases. The first year I bought apples from her was our favorite apple, which is Honey Crisps. And I told her it's like a very expensive apple. How come it's so low in price? Like obviously it was second quality, but I mean it was like super low, almost like 60% off. She's like, "Well, my trees are sick and all of my apple are not perfectly round. Some of them dropped from the tree. We just picked them up. They were like just bruised slightly and you can still eat it. You just need to remove
Yeah.
the bruise."
Bad part. Yeah.
And she says, "I'm losing most of my trees." So, and she's like, "I'm debating on cutting them all down and restarting on another plot or trying to save them." So I'm like, "Oh my God, it's like one of my favorite apple trees." So if ever I have access to land, it's like I want to plant like 20 trees of apples in like maybe five, seven of them being that one. And if she has so much a hard time with those apples, kind of discouraged me because they're like $60 a tree.
And see, I have two apple trees here on my own property. My dad has 75 acres, and when we were hunting, he was still like talking about how in their testament,
There will.
their will, the house is coming to me and the land is going to my brother. So no matter what, chances are I'm probably going to sell the house and buy land if it happens, at some
You
point
can
in the
keep the
future.
house, rent the land your brother has.
And that's the thing. Like my brother told me, Dad even said that he was gonna probably sign the papers and all the land to my brother within a few years. And my brother looked at me straight up and he's like, "If you want to clean up the apples, like the apple trees back there, you can go ahead and do it. Like I won't stop you from doing that." But he's like, "You just need to know that if you do that, this uncle and this uncle and this one and this one will probably go and harvest the apples." I'm like, you know what? Like it's not the end of the world if they go and they actually eat them.
The
It
most important thing is they don't go to waste.
exactly. So I have a bunch of apples there, and I know the apples are good. I just have to go and clean them up, like clean around, make sure that we can actually have access to them. I might have like to cut like a few bush here and there. Um, I might even have to put like some sort of little fence around them because it's full of bear poop all around. So the bear goes in the apple trees. Now, once everything is cleaned up, um, maybe we will be able to see them a little bit more. Maybe I will have a chance to hunt them. My dad doesn't want us to bait them because in New Brunswick, I don't know if it's legal or not, but anyway, everybody does it. We
You
can
mean
bait.
feed them?
You feed the bear and they come. If you feed them for like 5 straight days, they'll have the habit of coming. So you just keep feeding them. Eventually, you'll see them and you can hunt them, and they're pretty easy to get.
I kind of see why I wouldn't do that because
You're drawing
when
them in.
you're drawing them in on your property.
Yeah, it's not its property per se the problem, but the property is nearby a bunch of houses. So that's
Yeah.
why he doesn't want the bears there.
Of course, I complete like let's just say you're in the middle of nowhere and you have a hunting cache and you hunt there and it's like 20 acres and it's just a hunting ground, fine.
Yeah,
But if there's no houses around, but like if you feed them and they come, they might come back every year. And you could be with your children one day going at your dad's land and
they're
cuckoo.
there. Yeah. So I have access to Sarah's land. He's allowing me to go. The only problem is, like I keep telling him, if you go bear hunting, you have to go after supper until it starts. And the best time, the prime time, is like 15 minutes before it starts, you know? Now you have to walk back in the dark and you have to cross a beaver pond. And I'm like, I don't want to cross a beaver pond in the dark and having to walk, another kilometer in the dark after. If
Mm.
if there was a way for me to take the ATV and go right there, I would make it blind and I would hunt on his property. But right now, I find it too risky, especially in the dark with the coyotes and the bears and
I wouldn't take the risk.
beaver dam. You don't know, you might step somewhere you're not supposed to. And
I have one Honeycrisp apple tree on the property, hoping to see apples. Nice. So since he brought it down, my neighbor's tree's gone. I did have apples in my tree this year, but like they all turned brown, like you mentioned. And since we brought down the ash tree, I'm wondering if I should invest either in a another apple tree, dwarf, and maybe like a self pollinated pear tree. It would be fun. But my husband's like, yeah, we should do it. I'm like, yeah, but where? Where do I put it so it doesn't do shade on the garden? Like every time I want to put like an orchard somewhere, it needs to be low to the ground because everything touches each everything. So we're gonna look into the possibility of maybe one apple tree. I think they're like 60 something dollars, the Honey Crisp, something like that. But since we don't know how long we're gonna stay here, I do okay. So I did have a cherry tree. I had a Romeo and Juliet, and I had to relocate it. So I dig it out, but it died. So we left it in place. The leaves turned all brown, and I don't think it survived. But I'm just gonna let it do its thing during the winter. We left everything there. Maybe in the spring, it's gonna kick back. We don't know. If not, there is a baby 5 feet further that grew. The thing is that Romeo and Juliet is a hybrid. So I don't know if it carries out shoots like a rose or if I missed the cherry and the little seed inside the cherry made a tree. So I don't know. But I do have one next year that's probably at year 3. And from what I was reading, it's year 5 that you start having fruits. But it's still not in the ideal place. Like the one that is growing right now, I still will have to relocate it because it's not what it's supposed to be.
I have 3 cherry trees right now. I had cherries on 2 of them the past 2 years. But you see them one day, they're orange, and you're like, okay, tomorrow I can harvest them. You
No,
get there the next morning, and they're gone.
you have to harvest them. So this is something that one of my neighbors told me. When you have fruits in trees, you can't wait for them to be prime. You have to harvest them like as soon as you see, or you cover them.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Put like a netting on them.
So when I was passing on the orchard last year, I saw something and it found like I was like, "Oh my god, this is so logical. Why didn't people think of that?" So you know those netting that we put on top of our either our road covers or like our tunnels and all that.
Hmm.
There's like this. It looks like a condom for a tree. Sorry, that's what it looks like. So like they put that shape on top of the tree and they tie it, and all of the birds can't go. Obviously, the little critters can go
Yeah,
because
but
the squares are big enough for pollinators in case some of the fruits are not all set. But deer and bird netting, yeah, deer.
maybe more bird netting here because we don't have enough deer to make a difference. Not in my area.
Yeah. So I was hesitant to get like a two cherry trees. Why is that comment not staying? Okay. So I was hesitant on getting two dwarf pear trees, two cherry trees dwarf, and just creating like something, a barrier between our two houses from our neighbor. But I found out a year after I arrived here that the lilac tree, which is a landmark, which my neighbor tells me is mine, but the official paper tells me is hers. So it's like a divider between our two properties. So I wanted to do the lilac tree and then the two pear trees and then the two cherry trees and like kind of create like this divider between our two lands. But the lilac is on her land.
Oh,
So if I aligned with the lilac, if she moves,
you're planning on her property.
I'm planning on her property. So the person actually has like free trees. But it was like me and my husband were like, oh, it's such a good idea. It's south facing. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be like a line divider. We
Bye,
no longer I'm sorry?
I said bye, Marilyn.
Oh, bye, Magdalene. And then I'm like, but ours. So if you plant there, it's her trees.
Yeah.
So my celebration kind of lasted like 5 minutes. So I can't, there was like no other places I can plant them. And I don't want to plant them too close to my foundation of my house. The Romeo and Juliet, I was told 12 feet, 12, 15 feet. So yeah, it makes sense. You're going to go read. Have fun. That's probably what I'll do. I'm in the juicy part of my book that I started this afternoon. I need to finish it. Well, it's not the book, but the part. Laissez-moi qui commence à tousser. Stupid cold.
I'm done, man.
I'm losing parts of my. I realized something. I've been carrying this water bottle so much. Some of my stickers are like falling. So Tracy's sticker is starting to fade off. Um, Darren is like dying on me. Yours is like changing color. It's like no longer yellow. This used to be like dark green, now it's light green. Melissa Little House in the Big Woods seems to be surviving, but I've been like carrying this bottle so much. I might have to get new stickers soon. Paperwork. I clicked twice on it. Paperwork be damned. Have you gotten a land? Yes. So here, when we buy the house, we requested a, what's it called? There's a name for it. Yeah. So un arpenteur géomètre, like it's a person that comes surveys your land, and they tell you what's yours and what's your neighbor's. And the one that was in the file was outdated, and the person that was helping us buy this property told us it's too old. You need a new one because there's things on the paper that's no longer there, and there's things that's there on the property, but that's not on the survey. And we said, okay, fine, but you need to do a new one. And we found out so many things with that. So we found out that the cedar hedge is like in certain places 100% mine, in some places 50% mine, and on other places a quarter, 25% mine. And then on the other side, the cedar hedge, she said, was planted and it was hers. It's not ours. It's like almost 4 or 5 feet off our property. And then we found out that we have 5 trees. Some of them are 100% ours, some of them are 75% ours, and some of them are like 25% ours. And that's how we found out that the lilac was not ours. But everyone tells us it's ours. So I'm like, on paper, it says it's not ours, but you guys think it is. And we tell them that it's theirs, but they're like, no, 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 it's yours. So I'm like, come on. But I don't want to get in any trouble. So we call it no man's land. So we walk on it, but we don't claim it. It's not ours. We've told them, they are aware. We have a 2017 survey thing, and if they come and complain, we told you it was yours. You told us it was ours. So it's no man's land, and we're just gonna maintain it. And when we leave, the new owners is gonna have to debate with them. I'm not getting into a turf war.
Yeah,
But like
when you do a little survey like that, it's crazy because I had some issues with my neighbor this summer as well, and she told me, she's like, you know those cedars that you planted, like all the branches are on my property. And I'm like, well, when your husband was still alive, I asked him if it was okay if I planted them there, and he said it was fine. She's like, yeah, 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 no worries. I'm not asking you to cut them out, but I'm just letting you know that in theory they're on my property. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and check it out. So I started looking online in New Brunswick. All the lands are divided, and apparently, um, it's pretty accurate. And from what I could see, she was right. The trees were right on the line. But what I found is that her whole driveway is actually on her other neighbor's property. So, yeah, like you can make trouble with me all you want, but your whole driveway doesn't even belong to you.
I would
So,
have laughed if it was yours.
that would have been funny, but it's on the other side of the property.
Yeah, legal documents. Like it was our first house, and we told the lady that was helping us to buy the house, I'm like, we're blue, like we have no idea what we're doing, and we don't want any problems. And she's like, okay, so make it in your offer that she has to pay for it. And she didn't. So we didn't pay for it because she was really desperate to sell the house. So it could have been different, that she's like, nope, you pay for it. But she has tried to sell the house for 2 years, and everyone was like walking away because there's like, it's a century old home, so you kind of have to have a very strong backbone to
Yeah.
live in a house that's crooked 100% of the time. Like, try to imagine building a wall, okay, upstairs, and like you take a measurement. It's supposed to be 8 feet because ceilings are at 8 feet. So I can't remember what 8 feet is in inches, but hold on, 8 fois 12.
96.
So 96. Okay, so he takes out the measuring tape and he's like, okay, let's do the wall. Okay, 96. Cuts the first one, cuts the second one, because it's an 8-foot ceiling, so everything should be at 96. Some of them are at 96 96.2. Some of them are at 95.8. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, every time he would take the measurement, cut it. Like, so there's a saying, measure twice, cut once.
Yeah.
He changed that. He's like, measure 4 times, cut once. Because it was a laughing game. At the end, he was cutting longer. So if he was measuring like 96.2, he would go, okay, let's do 95 point, like 2 3, like a little bit longer. He's like, okay, so now I just need to cut a hair and it fits. It was so annoying. Just to do the wall of our upstairs bathroom. At first, we were so angry. I think we should have drank a whole case of beer and just laugh about it, because we were making jokes about, and like, okay, so now it's going to be 96 point, and we were like just playing along. Get legal documents signed in triplets, and yeah, everything is notarized for us. Everything. We paid, I think we paid like over $1,000 to get all our documents notarized, to be sure that everything is safe. We don't want any problems. And we got 2 copies. The third copy is, can't remember where. I think it's our l'hypothèque. Where our mortgage broker. I think 1 copy went to our mortgage broker. I can't remember. It's been a couple of years. Well, the thing is, I told my neighbor, I think she's like close to 80 something. I told her, look, the tree's not mine. The surveyor came and he says the tree's not mine and the hedge is not yours, nor they're mine. There's like 3 feet of the hedge that's yours and the rest is to my neighbor in the back. And she's like, okay. But I'm still telling you, the man that was there before the owner that I bought the house from planted that lilac tree, and I'm going to respect the fact that he planted that lilac tree for his wife. So I'm like, okay. She's like, the only thing I ask is if I can leave my rhubarb plant there. I'm like, well, it's yours. So why would I not let you keep your rhubarb plant? Because it's on your property. So I'm like, okay, whatever. She's not even a hassle. She never caused problems with me. I was more scared of my other neighbor, because the cedar hedge was like 15 feet tall when we moved. So I'm like, let's just say that I go and see her, not knowing her. She's super cool. She's super nice. But I'm like, the cedar hedge is not fully mine. We share the cedar hedge. So like, it's not mine. It's not yours. We need to cut it. So every time I was going to her place, she buys eggs off of me. And I'm like, one day I go at her, I'm like, you do know that we need to trim the hedge. She's like, yeah, but I know it's like half mine, half yours. So how are we going to do that? Well, I'm like, let's just get 2-3 quotes and like figure out which one we want and just like divide in 2. And she's like, yeah, sure. And that's what we did. No conflicts. None so whatsoever. And I was like, thank you, because there's nothing worse.
Yeah, fighting neighbors, not fun.
Fighting like over a hedge. Like, yeah. And she actually came, she's like, please, I really want the hedge to be cut down like 10 feet. I'm like, 10 feet? That's a lot. Like, it's going to bring it down to like maybe, back to where it was originally 6 years ago. She's like, I no longer have sun in my backyard. And I need your authorization to cut it down. So I'm like, sure, fine. Let's do it. It did cost a lot. This is in regards. Oh, I'm not going to plant the trees. No. Because like let's just say that, because she's like in her 80s and her son is probably going to take over the house. So I'm like, let's just say that I get legal documents that the trees are mine on her property, whatever. I don't want to go there. So even Fred's like, we're not going to go in that direction. We're going to find something else. And we don't know. Like, we've been talking about moving, renting, buying just land. There is also the option of just buying land and building an orchard there and just going to the orchard, but we're not there yet. Like, we did find a friend that has pear trees, apple trees, and I could just maybe convince him, hey, let's just split the purchase of cherry trees and peach trees and put it on your land, and I'm gonna come help you out harvest. I know I could do that. He has space for maybe like 4 or 5 trees more, and he has a total, I think, of 20 trees in his orchard. So he has pear tree, apple trees, and he has like a mix of like pear and apple. It's
Okay.
kind of like a round. It's a round fruit. It tastes like a pear mixed with an apple.
Cool.
And he doesn't do anything to his tree. So next year, I think I'm gonna go and I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna harvest as much as apples as I can. I'm gonna do like 4 or 5 containers of apple cider vinegar, because this he doesn't put anything. So like they're like sont piqués. There's like how do you say that in English? There's like little holes in the apples.
Okay. I don't know.
Bees like eat a little bit of the apple, and there's something else. So some of them are like scrapped. They're not edible, but I can still do apple cider vinegar with them.
Hmm.
Because I found out something, and I was heartbroken. The place I buy apples does not spray generally, but she said to me that she will not lose a harvest. So if she has to spray, she will. So that's why she's not officially certified biologique, organic. And then Fred sent me a video the other day. He says that the highest concentration of pesticides are in the skins of the apples. And I do my apple cider vinegar with the scraps and the skins. So I consume the part of the apple. I don't know if the pesticides get diluted when vinegar is made. So I kind of threw out the 2 apple cider vinegars I did this year, and next year I'm just gonna go get apple that are scrap at his orchard and just make my own. At least I know he doesn't put anything on it. I might have some friends, like little bugs, when I do when I mix the apples with the water. Yeah, worm eating. That's what I mean. There's little worms inside. Yes. So the orchard I normally go at, she sells what's called second quality. But my friend's house, it's scrap apples. So we remove what is eaten or like little holes, and we just use up part of the apple that's still good. But at least I know he doesn't do anything to his apples, so maybe I
My,
should convince him.
my goal for 2024 is to build a nice orchard. That's what I want. Like I usually have like one goal per year to do, like one major thing. Last year I wanted to learn how to can, how to forage a little bit. This year was all about starting a food forest. Next year I want to make like a nice orchard.
I don't know what I want for next year. I haven't decided yet. Like, I know I'm learning a lot of new holistic ways, like doing my soaps and training for other stuff. But I don't know. I know I want a garden. That's for sure. Tea blends is something I would love to do, but I haven't sat down and like have that bucket list for 2024. I think the main one is not lose my mind.
Yeah, it's
Like,
always good to take a step back and
yeah,
like I crashed last year, kind of like what you did this year, and I took a step back and I realized that a lot of stuff that I was doing I did not need to do. Just like one example, I used to make like one video per day. I would come home with the video, download all the filming I made, edit, put it up, try to do everything at once. I realized that just was not working for me. And I went down to one video a week. And what I try to do is at least take pictures of the stuff I do and put that for members only and do a little
Yeah,
show here and there.
the
Um,
community tab.
I can still show everything I do. And I mean, once I like, I'm not teaching anything to anyone by doing a video a day on harvesting wild apples. It's like, okay, I'll do a vlog of me going grouse hunting with the kids, harvesting apples. But after one video, I mean, you know that I'm harvesting wild apples. I'll take a few pictures here and there, but that's it. Just that made a huge difference
Yeah.
to me. Just to take it.
Or there's also the way that Jack and Lindsay work. They do a lot of shorts. She films like during the week and she edits and she publishes her shorts. Shorts are like raw almost. Like
Yeah.
you can film. There's little editing to do and you just upload, and they've reached 1,000 subs like quite fast because of that. But I no longer can do multiple videos a week. It's just it took a mental toll on me, and it's funny that it's other YouTubers that make me realize how low I was. There is one. I think it's a girl in the woods. No. Anyways, it's a woman that. Let me find her name. It's called outdoor something. A girl in the woods. She didn't publish for about a month. And as a regular viewer, I'm like, oh my God, like, is she sick? Is there something going on? She normally always has content, and like, your mind goes rolling. And then she comes back about 4 or 5 weeks after, and she says, she literally said, I don't want to publish a video for the sake of publishing a video. I'm not here to do that. I want to film myself so that I can inspire you guys, so that I have content that makes a difference in your lives as viewers. And at first I was like, I stepped back and like I meditated on that all evening long. For the sake of doing content, like for publishing videos, I know that when we are small channels, we keep saying, we need to publish, and to be exposed and find our niche, find our love language. But when you think of it, publishing just for the sake of publishing, at one point you become what I feel, I don't know if it's for other people like that, fake.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're creating content, but is it true to what you are, what you represent, what you feel, or do you feel obligated to put something out? Yeah, we are a small channel, but I feel that if we deviate, and this is a setback, like what I feel I found out with this. If you step back and you look, you might as well just publish one video a week and be true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then publish 5 videos a week and like just not be yourself in like 50% of it, and then the people you will attract, they will go and come back. But there's a reason why you have hardcore followers. Like you speak their love language and they get inspired by what you do. At one point, if you keep just throwing content, at one point, if I feel fake, at one point someone's going to be, oh my God, she is not completely transparent, or it's not exactly like cute and roses and like, woohoo, homesteading is so cool. There's no down moments. There's no darkness.
No, homesteading is hard.
Homesteading
It's
is
fun,
hard.
it's worth it, but it's hard.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
Big channel make it look like it's like, woohoo, super cool.
Yeah, but big channels have more help than we do. Let's put it this way. Like Justin Rose doesn't do all his like he's not doing the whole editing.
Now he's no longer. Now he has someone editing.
So it
Yes.
makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And I mean, those channels, their whole family is working towards the same thing. When I look at even like Jason from Sow the Land, or Hard and Bree, or the Holler Homestead, they all do the same thing. The whole family is working for the same goal.
Yeah. Well, they're
You're a little
mostly
bit,
homeschooled families.
yeah, and you're a little bit more like me, where your husband and my girlfriend are not necessarily in love with that way of life. It's
Oh
all
no,
right.
he enjoys the way of life.
Mm-hmm.
He enjoys it. He works with me when he can, but he works 60 to 70 hours a week.
Yeah. Well, for a
So it's
reason or another, he can't really be there
yeah,
24/7 to help you with the homestead.
yeah. But the canning, preserving, that's not his cup of tea. That's for
Yeah, well,
sure.
exactly. Manon will cook if I ask her to cook. Um, she does help a little bit here and there when she can, but I mean, she's not going to go outside and do all the planting and do all the gardening and do all that stuff. I have to do that. She's not going to learn about the plants and when to start them and when to plant them and when to bring them
Well,
outside.
obviously, Fred does pick. He did. Well, he says he doesn't, but I know he. If he just sits down and be honest, he does know that it's time for seeds. Like he knows there's. I remember last year he says, "Isn't it time for us to set up your light structure?" Because obviously I need him. I
Yeah,
can't put everything up myself. And he's like, "Isn't it time?" I thought like, when it starts warming up, we change the time, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, it's when I start doing my onions. But like obviously he won't know that you need to do onions, blah blah blah. That part, no, that's not him. But if I do tell him I need help chopping 50 pounds of pears, he did that with me. He helped me chopping. I wanted him to help me chopping onions, but for a reason, he was like, onions, I'm not chopping onions. Because we cry all the time. It's like, every time we chop onions. So I know that if I ask him to chop onions, he's not going to go through that torture. That's for sure.
yeah,
But it is one man show, like mainly. And honest, I have to respect. He does not want to be filmed.
that's it.
So no,
And
it's not. He doesn't mind being filmed. I'm
he
going to
doesn't want
rephrase
to have
that.
to focus on him.
Yeah, so let's just say that we're working on something. He doesn't mind being filmed like as he's working, but he doesn't want to be like the first person. Hello, how you feeling? No, he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
He hates the camera. He hates his English accent. Even though he tells me, "Oh, I can't speak English. I don't understand English," and blah blah blah, but he speaks very well English. He
But you
says,
could also be doing it for your friend's channel
um
if you wanted to. I mean,
I did mention something to him about our French channel. He didn't say no. He didn't say yes.
mhm.
So we'll see. My French channel is like in the abyss right now. Poor thing.
But
I neglect them so
the
much.
ones that we see doing well, you look at me and you Acres, Mike and Angie. They do so well together. Like to have them both on screen, they the way that they fit well together. Like they're what's the word I'm trying to find? Like
They're the yin and the yang.
chemistry. Their
The
chemistry
chemistry, yeah.
on
One completes the other.
Bridget and Darren, Lynn from Bucket List Homestead started like taking off when, well, it's probably not the only reason, but when David started appearing more and more on her videos, people like that. People like to see the family. They like to see people working together. I mean, it's one thing to be called Rem's Family Farm, but it's not Rem's family. It's mostly Rem. It should be Rem's farm. It's like,
True. It hurts sometimes. I do try to put my kids if when they behave, because there's days that they're like little rascals and they don't really behave. But my next vlog, I did do something very. Sorry, I think Luna's eating something. Ah, tu te grattes. Ah, excuse-moi, je t'ai dérangé. Oh, she looks at me. I woke her up.
We
I'm so.
want Fred.
Oh, we want Fred.
That's what Dave said.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, maybe one day he's gonna get over the fact that he's camera shy. But he was a photographer. Like he used to take pictures.
Behind the camera.
Yeah, he's used to be behind the camera. And for a reason I don't understand, I'm super shy when he films me. So he does stupid things behind the camera. Mike, when he does stupid things and then Angie goes, "Stop it!" Well, he does that, so. Or he just says the stupidest things. I remember editing once and like he was saying so much crap. I had to scrap that video because there's no way I was able to edit everything out. So, or he doesn't realize I'm filming and he passes in his boxers behind me. So I'm like, thank you very much. I have to restart. But we'll see. I'll see. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself for next year. I know that I want to switch back to my original plan. So 3 years ago, I flipped from a potager style to a market production style. And I think that's where I messed up. I would be able to have a market style garden if we were two working full time together. 2, 3. Well, let's just say 1 full time, 2 part time, or 2 full times. I would be able to have a market garden and not lose my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back to the potager style. So I converted everything into market style. So there's no way that I'm gonna go back to like ornaments and all of that and like create like super beauty. I'm gonna keep the lines, but I'm gonna go back to like those beautiful tomatoes and like colorful peppers. And production wise, I'm just gonna do what I did this year. Just go to the farm and either harvest it myself or just buy boxes of second quality tomatoes, second quality zucchinis, onions, and just complete. Obviously, I will not be able to control the pesticides or the things that they put on the produce. That is 100% accurate. But I lost myself in the process of wanting no chemicals.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the lesser evil for now until I can figure out how much I can endure without reaching the breaking point. So I want to be able to recognize the signs before I go, oh my God, like it's too late. So that's going to be my focus, my main focus for next year. I no longer want to crash. I will fall of exhaustion. There's no way out of it. There's no way out of exhaustion when you're a homesteader. There's days that you wake up and the sun goes down, the kids go to bed, and like you have canning sessions back to back to back to back. But that's part of the process because like our season is so condensed and we have to preserve. But past that, when November hits, like I don't want to be in a dark place. I don't want to be, oh my God, what am I doing? I don't want to question. Like this year, I was questioning if homesteading was something I still wanted to do. I was questioning my decision. I was questioning if I still wanted a garden. At one point, I was so low. I told Fred, just rent a bulldozer and we're going to even everything out and just
give up on it.
Like I was ready to give up. And then Fred's like, don't do that. You work so hard, like on the backyard and building what you've had. I don't think the decision you're making is the right one. So
yeah, we're supposed to take a year off, or
Yeah. Yeah. So what I did is I just stopped maintaining the garden. Like there's weeds that are like as tall as me in the garden right now. I didn't close the garden. I didn't maintain the garden. I just let it go because if I was gonna follow what I wanted to do, I was just gonna flatten everything out and just quit. Because like I was like so mad, I wasn't able to keep up. I wasn't able to sleep. I wasn't able to feel better, and like it hit me fast this year. It was in August. Usually I crash like, well, not this
October,
low, but
November.
like September, like I start feeling the exhaustion and the sun goes down, this like school starts and the first sickness comes in the house and like there's gastro once in a while during that time and that's when I start feeling it. But like this year, yeah, no, I got it once this year, so I should be fine. I should be fine for at least 3-4 months. But when I realized I was crashing, it was like August, end of August, beginning of September. I still did the what's it called? The shed wars. I still did that. I weighed everything. I finished it strong, and I reached my goal of 1,000 pound. But beyond that, like there's still produce on the vines of my tomato plants. There's eggplants. There's peppers I've missed. There's cucumbers I left on on the vine. Like I was like the other day I was looking at that when I was feeling better, and I was like I've missed all of that food, but I just couldn't do it anymore. So it was either bulldozing it or just let it die. And
Gonna die, and they'll grow back next year. Worst comes to
well,
worst.
obviously not cucumbers will grow back.
No, but tomatoes. You might have a few volunteer tomato
Yeah,
plants.
yeah. So I might, I might like do half. There's like I know the cabbage family. I think I'm gonna quit it for at least next year, but it's hard to take a decision to what I want next year. I have
You
like so much mint box. It's like I have banana mint, orange mint, apple mint, pineapple mint, chocolate mint, regular
peppermint,
mint.
peppermint, spearmint.
I have like so many mint. I do hope they survive. So that's one thing I did this. I didn't plant my mint plants, so I put them in 12 by 12 by 12. I hope they survive. I really hope they survive. I did not plant my fruit trees. No, correction. I planted half of my fruit trees and the other half I left them and buried them in soil in their containers. So I hope at least 50% survive. Worst case scenario, I'll start
They could
again.
still make it. You never know. I had a few ASCAP bushes last year that stayed in the pots, and they were not strong, but they were still alive in the spring.
Yeah.
So I transplanted them. I gave them a bunch of rabbit manure, and they survived. They're still
I
going strong.
I think I want to add hascaps. That's something I want to do next year. Hascap, I really enjoyed them. And they're not very complicated like blueberries. So that's really
But
something
it
I want
takes
to
a
do.
while for them to grow, though. Like I have like
Yeah.
10 plants, and I had maybe like a handful of them.
So from what I understand, the ones that we buy are a year old. There is bambooplant.ca. There is also the place you ordered your trees from.
Pépinière ancestrale.
Yeah, they sell 1 year old or 3 year olds. So 3 year olds, technically, if you plant them early enough, they probably won't give you anything the first year, but they should give you a bumper crop, small crop, the fourth year. But they're a little bit more expensive. I am everywhere though on many channels throughout the week, as well as being on so many lives each week. You don't have kids. I hope I didn't insult you. I would not be able at all to be on lives each week. It would not be possible. Maybe during the day, like half an hour here, half an hour there,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, I
Epic.
don't know about you, but I'm gonna go to bed.
Sure, sure,
A
sure.
long
I
week.
didn't see the time. I'm just gonna read the last comment. Epic gardening is the same way he started off doing his garden by himself, but years upon years later, he does have a lot of help. Yeah, I need personnel, but to have personnel, I need to have an income.
Yeah, you need to be rich,
I
and then you
well,
can pay someone.
rich or an income. Well, I'm gonna go to my voice is starting to give up on me. I'll try to see what I can do next year. I'll try. I did get my the rectangle the GoPro. So if I ask him to teach me how to use it, he's gonna have to somewhat be present when I use it. So might get him involved that way. Oh no, I have the old model. Um, it's just the
This one
square
might.
one.
But it
Mine
is
is on. Wait. Mine is. I don't know where mine is. It's about this big. It's just
yeah,
that.
3D square. My friend has one like this, but I have to give him back. This is the one that Jack and Lindsay recommended.
Yeah, that's the 10, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I have like a couple of models lower than that. But I figured it's used and I'm going to start using it and I see so many good feedbacks from it. I'm going to give it a try, but if I get him involved, I might get him squeezed in a couple of videos. We'll see. I I'm on in or hosting a live just about 60. Nice. I remember. I think that's how I met you through Mallory because she was also very present on lives. Oh, thank you. I said that like it came out, and my brain kind of went, "Oh my god, I shouldn't have said that. I could have insulted him." Well, guys, have a wonderful week. I know I did not treat you with a video this week. Keep in mind it was strike, and I was sick. So the fact that my kids and I survived the week watching TV and like being zombies all week. I did squeeze in a vlog. I did something with my daughter. I have to edit it, and I think it's going to come out early next week. So everyone have a fantastic week. Thanks, Remy, for popping in.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Bye, everyone.